Hey guys, what is going on? It's your boy Yack back with another video. And in today's video I'd like to talk about the future of Grand Prix. Now I'm going to start off first talking about the next Grand Prix coming up, which is the Spyro and Friends Grand Prix. So huge spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to know anything that's coming up, please exit the video. But you can leave a like on your way out. So I'll start by talking about the leaks that we got and everything that we can expect to come in the next Grand Prix. However, we did get some leaks that were kind of false for the last one. But the leaks are still in the files, so they're very likely to come in the future. But since all these leaks this time are related to Spyro, it's pretty safe to say that they'll be in this update. So anyways, I'm going to list off the leaks for Spyro first. So as far as characters go, we found obviously Spyro, Hunter, Nasty Nork, Ripto, and Sorceress. Now my only complaint about this Grand Prix is that the Grand Prix is actually titled Spyro and Friends. Now, only 2 out of 5 of these characters are actually friends of Spyro. That, of course, being Hunter, then Nasty Nork, Ripto, and Sorceress are obviously villains of Spyro. Now, I think these characters are actually a great choice, but I still think it would be cool to have some of Spyro's actual friends like Agent 9, Allura, Moneybags, or even Sergeant Bird. But this is very minor and it really doesn't matter. There was a rumor going around that Penta Penguin would actually get Sergeant Bird as a skin. Now, I personally think that would be awesome. That's really a win-win for Beanox because then they don't have to get new voice actors and animations and they can just simply add it as a skin. Now when I first saw this roster in the leaks, I actually thought Nasty Nork wouldn't be able to ride in a cart. But at the same time, I like to think that Nasty Nork's the same size as Tiny. So here's actually some skin renders that were leaked. This is basically found in the files as the skins for Nasty Nork, Nasty Nork's weapon, and Hunter. So I think it's safe to assume that it will become a character. Nasty Nork will probably pull out his weapon whenever he wins and he's on the podium, or even when he jumps he might swing it out. If he doesn't become a character, I feel like he might be seen in the map. He is pretty big, so it's kind of hard to imagine him riding in a cart. Now I think it would be pretty sweet to race along his boss level. This is basically where you had to chase him all the way to the end and then basically knock him to the fire, and if you messed up then you had to go all the way back around. Now if this doesn't scream potential for a map, I don't know what does. But there's also 3 different games they can pick from, so it's very debatable. Maybe they'll even surprise us and have 2 maps, one being like the world with the dragons and the other being a boss level. Who knows, but either way I'm super excited to see what they have in store for us. Also, as a side note, I think it would be awesome to see the egg thief at some point. It would be pretty sweet to see him on the side of the map and kind of hear him taunting you, or if he was even on the track and he'd run away from you when you go after him. Since Beanox and Toys for Bob are basically partnered, this is very easy for him to get access of the skins. So they can just basically take any character and any animation from the Spyro Reignited trilogy and just throw it into Crash Team Racing. So I guess the same goes for the maps, but obviously they're going to have to kind of arrange it to a racing setup. There is actually also a leak for the wheels that we would kind of get for this. And their titles are Gem Blue, Gem Cyan, Gem Green, Gem Orange, Gem Pink, Gem Purple, Gem Red, and Gem Yellow. Now I'm assuming these are going to look like the gems from Spyro, which would look awesome on wheels. They're super bright and vibrant and they all have this kind of glow to them. That would just look so sick on wheels. And as for a cart, here's an art I found. I actually don't know who the artist is. If you do, please comment it. But it's basically Sparks as a cart and that would just look awesome. Hopefully Sparks is around for when Spyro does any like podium animations or something, but having him as a card as a reference would be just crazy. And also here's something that'll kind of upset some of you guys. I don't really know why, but microtransactions seem like they are on their way in the future. This leak right here reads, "Are you sure you want to fill up your Nitro bar for 0 wumpa coins?" Now obviously that 0 will be changed for how many wumpa coins you want to trade it in for. It also says your Nitro bar is already full and congratulations. So in my head, it looks like after the Grand Prix is over, if you haven't filled up your Nitro gauge, you can actually pay and fill it all the way up. Now to me, I see no problem with this. If you didn't have much time to play and you kind of wish you did, then you're like, oh shoot, I kind of want to fill it up now. Then you can drop a little money and get it all the way up. If not, then you don't have to worry about it. A lot of people have been commenting under Activision's posts saying, oh, this is Activision's fault, all they care about is money. But this game has a lot of content and it's all free, and that's pretty insane. Games like Fortnite are free and everybody plays it, but they have microtransactions and everyone pays for it. This game charges money and not as many people will play it considering it's not a shooter. This is a kart racer after all, and not many people play kart racing games anymore. So as long as it isn't pay to win, which in this case it isn't, then we're all good. Maybe in the future they might have a pack that'll have like exclusive stuff you have to pay for, then I'll see where the problem comes from. even though I'll probably still pay for it and not complain at all, I then understand your guys' frustration. But now that we know this kind of information, there should be no issues at all, so don't worry about microtransactions for now, we're all good. So again, the only thing we have confirmed through files for the Spyro Grand Prix is actually the characters, which were the 5 that I listed earlier. Who knows, they may come out with more and surprise us. But there's also some more leaks for the future, so let's actually get into that now. So we also found these characters for after this next Grand Prix. These characters being Baby Cortex and Baby Entropy, Nina Cortex, Rillaru. And then these characters weren't found in the leaks, but they already confirmed this on their website that Embryo and Komodo Mo will be in there. And alongside that, they put Nina Cortex in there, but we already found that in the files. So in the future, if we had a whole Grand Prix with all 6 of these characters, that would be pretty crazy. I think it would be a better idea to kind of spread them out and have 2 separate Grand Prix with more characters. But either way they do it, I'm excited for all of these characters. And again, most of these characters have already been in the Crash trilogy, so it'd be pretty easy to move them over to this game. So I'd assume that this Grand Prix or these 2 separate Grand Prix would follow up with the Spyro one. As far as carts go for this Grand Prix, I have no clue. But it would be a great idea to make Madame Amberly's school a map. You could basically like race around her for a section of the map and she could maybe affect the map or just scream at you or something. That would be pretty awesome. So now these characters you all remember if you played Crash Tag Team Racing. Seeing that these were confirmed actually blew my mind and made me super excited. So anyways, these leaks listed Ebenezer Von Clutch, Pasadena, Willy Wumpa Cheeks, and Chick and Stew. Now we could also throw Nina Cortex in here since she was from CTR, but I think she fits with the other characters better since they're all from the main series. But what actually took me by surprise was that Chick and Stew are in here. After thinking about it for a little bit, this kind of made a little more sense to me. I feel like when the final Grand Prix comes, they're going to be sitting there talking about what the Grand Prix is all about. Then by the end of it, they're just going to be like, you know what, I'm sick of it, I'm trying to race, and then they'll just run off and be a new character. That would actually be really awesome, and I'd love to see the kind of skins that they would get. They're also very energetic, so I'd love to see the kind of lines that they'd have. So I think it's safe to assume that this one would follow up after the old characters from Crash. And as for the carts and maps for this, that's actually a different story. At this point, we've basically seen all the CTTR carts, so they'll just have to make something up, and I'm sure they can easily do that. But then it comes down to tracks. Way before the game was released, they actually invited a bunch of content creators out for like a meeting to kind of like discuss how the game will be. After the meeting, several of those content creators came out and said that CTTR tracks will be in the game. This proved to be false later on, which was kind of upsetting, but also at the same time, I don't understand how CTTR tracks would fit into the game. Tag Team Racing was a completely different play style, and you're actually driving cars in that game. There wasn't many turns, and if there was, they were very wide, so it really wouldn't make any sense. However, if they took the creation from all those maps and put it into one as like an amusement park track, that would be awesome. Maybe not even that, but there was about like 5 sections, I believe. So maybe if this happened to be the last Grand Prix, they could make 5 separate maps. That's asking a little much, but again, if it was the very last one they're going to make for this game, that would be pretty sweet. But anyways, a map based from CTTR with Nitro fueled kind of mechanics and playstyle would just be perfect for the game. Especially for nostalgic for people who actually played the game back in the day. But anyways, let's talk about the last bit of information. Now Emperor Velo, aka Fake Velo, he was actually listed in the leaks as well. Now I would be super excited to see him as a playable character as I played Nitro Kart a lot. But it would be kind of hard to make a whole Grand Prix based around him because there's only one character and only one other card I can think about. That card of course being the little hovercraft thing that he drove. So him as a character and that cart would be epic. But anyways, all the CNK characters are already in this game, so I really don't see how they could do a Grand Prix on that. So here's my kind of fix to that. What I say is they actually add the Crash Nitro Kart campaign to this game. Now of course we already have all the characters and everything, so there wouldn't really be much new content. But they could add in the cart and many new decals for all the old carts and even new skins. Of course you'd unlock Emperor Velo in his cart as well, but maybe we'd even get the Team Trans skins for Purra, Polar, and Dingodile. This was kind of stuck in my head since this got confirmed. I really wanted to see Polar, Purra, and Dingodile with that kind of mind-controlling cap on their head. Especially now, they could probably like change their eyes with it and actually make them look like they're controlled by Entrance. Anyways, you could take that campaign and throw it into this. They could even change the storyline a little bit and make it follow up perfectly from Crash Team Racing. It could be like Velo calls up Nitrous Oxide and basically makes fun of him for losing to all us, and then that's when he basically summons everyone from Earth. Then it'll pick up from there and we'll race, we'll beat him, blah blah blah. I also think it would be cool to make a map on Gasmoxia, as it's been basically hinted at for the longest time, but we haven't seen it at all. So they could kind of create their own vision on what Gasmoxia would look like, and we could have our own track there. We have Oxide Station and Hyperspaceway, but those aren't necessarily Gasmoxia. So we could get a ride through the actual map as the Grand Prix track, and that would be pretty awesome to end on. So anyways, that's basically my thoughts and ideas for the future of this game. So please let me know what you think about the video and any ideas that you have. You can also check out my Instagram in the description. I actually answer questions and respond to people there. I also post more often there. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.